So who is going to play with Connor McDavid?
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and placeholder.
His name is Zach Kassian.
For now. Dom Lucian. I think I got Lucian. I think I got that right.
Dom Lucian, yeah.
He put a really good, interesting, compelling argument together that Connor McDavid is demonstrably worse when Zach Kassian is on the ice. Yes, Zach Kassian can skate with him, but Kassian kind of almost encourages McDavid's bad defensive play to a certain extent. So I wonder how long that'll last. I'm not as sure you need to kind of have that nuclear presence. Oh, yes, I'm drafting 4th overall. Sorry, I just got the numbers from a hockey draft that's coming up in like 7 minutes, and I'm drafting 4.
And he's going to live on the podcast. Yeah. We'll help him.
Thanks, guys. So, you have McDavid and Nugent-Hopkins is great. Whoever Nugent-Hopkins plays with is the Oilers' first line. So I think Zach Kassian will be there for a little bit. If Jesse can kind of get his head on a little bit better, I think he could be someone that moves up in that role. Definitely not in the first 20 games of the season. But yeah, Zach Kassian for the moment might end up being the player, and we'll see how that goes. I mean, I was iffy on that contract when it was first signed. I am less stoked on it in a flat cap, but we'll see how it goes. He has the ability to put up 20 goals. Whether he can kind of make that happen and get engaged in a game is a different story. He's a lot like Milan Lucic in that sense, is if you wake up Lucic, it's going to be a bad time. If you wake up Kassian, it's going to be a bad time, and someone's going to lose a foot. So we'll see. I think the slot next to Connor McDavid on the right-hand side is very, very fluid.
I mean, I think that, to me, for Puljujärvi, there's no, I know that there's been so many other issues with him. Heaven forbid he wore the wrong number. Anyway.
Oh, don't get me stuck.
I
am calm. Jim Matheson. Yell at your cloud, old man.
Yeah. Still, one of my favorite response was when he tweeted, "It's like, what are you angry at an old? Like now you think it's an old man yelling at a cloud?" And then literally, I think the next tweet after was Grandpa yell out. I think
Yep. Most definitely.
But that talent is there. There's no question about his talent. And ideally, he would probably be, of the three, he would be the best to play with McDavid.
I want to say yes, based on the tools that are there. I think with Yessa, it's been reported a little bit that there was some definite schisms in the locker room with his play. We had John Shannon on our podcast last year who described him as he's this big kid from Finland who grew up on a farm 200 miles away from the nearest big city, who spoke zero English, and when he came to Edmonton, he didn't take English lessons. The Oilers set up lessons for him and Andrei Sekera's wife, oddly enough, and Sekera's wife went, and Puljujärvi didn't. So I think when he came back, there was some definite fences to be mended amongst the rest of the team, because you just took your ball and went home. So, those fences seem to be mended. Everyone's saying the right things. Again, it's a hockey dressing room. Who knows? But if he can play and kind of get up to speed of what his style of play needs to be, there's a definite kind of player there. And if he's more willing to take on that kind of puck retrieval role with 6'4", 220, who can skate like the wind, there's a role there. If he figures that out, who can say?
So, barring a trade, you said maybe not Kassian, maybe not Puljujärvi. Who do you see beside McDavid then?
I think there's a case to be. I think there's a case to be made for a player like Josh Archibald, who's kind of shown in moments. You could. I think James Neal can't really keep up in that role. James Neal is the perfect power play guy who plays in your fourth line. Just let him score when he needs to and kind of leave him be. So I think Dominic Cahoon is a possibility, but by all accounts in camp, him and the chemistry him and Leon Draisaitl have it's not a lie. They're like flinging some, no look behind the back passes around some pretty capable defenders. And, Dominic Cahoon playing with Leon when they were both 15, 16, some of that chemistry is coming back. So that player stays. And Kyler Yamamoto is an interesting possibility in that kind of puck retrieval sort of player. Let Nuge and Connor just play hacky sack with the puck and then have Kyler kind of go in, snag a puck and send it back. So that's a possibility, but Dave Tippett seems pretty keen on Yamamoto on that line. Who would you like just kind of group? If you could pick any winger for Connor McDavid, like, obviously you'd love Nathan McKinnon, blah, like who do you think would be the dream person to play with Connor McDavid?
Ooh. On the team right now?
Nah, across the league. Pick anyone. Let's make it fun.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say if Glenn Gullickson's picking, it's gonna be Alex Chasa. Every single time.
True.
Every time.
Go on the team somewhere. Yeah.
I would almost have to say it would be Tom Wilson kind of person. A bigger body. You're talking about puck retrieval, right?
Yeah.
Him, Tavares. There's so many to pick from. Like having the best person, it probably would be a Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Yeah,
really.
At some point in time, we do get we have to have the Crosby McDavid play together.
Oh my God, Crosby's play below the goal line is just fucking phenomenal, and having McDavid with him on that line, that'd be amazing. Or
Sidney Crosby's such a weird player to watch because he shouldn't, by just looking at what you think in your head are the skills of a good hockey player, he shouldn't be as good as he is. Leon Draisaitl just went second overall in my league. All right. Whoever's team is JT Miller High Life, great name, is stuck right now. I think he's trying to decide between Artemi Panarin and Nathan McKinnon.
Ooh, he got a McKinnon.
Yeah, you got to go McKinnon there.
Talk about perfect player to play with them. Talk about a fast fucking player to play with McDavid is Nathan McKinnon. To keep up with that speed and having that high skill set and just God.
Totally. Quick question: Artemi Panarin or Jack Eichel?
Jack Eichel.
Panarin.
Eichel, because he's going to have Taylor Hall to play with.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah, but his defense sucks.
Is plus minus an issue?
Yeah. That's the biggest question.
Is plus minus a category?
Oh, it's not. Straight points.
Then don't worry about it.
Yeah, totally. Plus you have Olofsson on the other side there, and he was lighting it up last year on the power play too. So
Jack Eichel, done. Thanks, guys.
Nice. Yeah.
I'll throw a name out that for me might be interesting, like Mitch Marner. That would be
see, and I think there's too much. Mitch holds the puck too much. I think the player, if I could pick any player in Canada to staple on the way with Connor McDavid, it'd be Willie Nylander. Mm-hmm. He is really smart. He's got good puck retrieval, and boy, does he have a one-timer. Willie Nylander is the most underrated offensive player in the National Hockey League. I don't give a shit what everyone says. Willie Nylander is amazing.
Thank you. I had you up here last time on the podcast. You came right down here on your podcast, and you're right back up. You skyrocketed. I have his jersey. I love him. Yes, and you're 100% right because he has the speed. He carries it into the zone, and then he does a little button hook every single time he looks for that pass, and he is amazing at passing. And I know we're talking about Oilers. We've been kind of all over the map here, but I would love to see Nylander quarterback the power play instead of Morgan Riley, just because he could dish it wherever he wanted to.
Ooh, interesting. I like it. I'm a fan.
Philip Forsberg. Oh, Nashville. He's got the speed. He's an underrated forechecker, and he doesn't necessarily need the puck.
That's a really good one.
He's a great one-timer too.
And that's the thing. Like the Oilers, it's kind of a joke at this point. We've been missing a player with a one-timer, like quite literally. Oh God, who is the last Oilers player to have a one-timer? Dustin Penner.
Oh, Dustin Penner.
Dustin Penner. Because Taylor Hall didn't of our best defensive. I mean, Yel Yakupov had a pretty good one, but it's the famous Ray Ferraro quote. He plays hockey like he's been chased by bees. and Nail Yakupov
so underrated.
Oh yeah, and Nail Yakupov, by the way, just traded 4 times in his KHL season, most recently for cash considerations. He was traded from Sochi to a team. I think he's playing in the Chinese team now.
What a fall from
Red
grace.
Star?
I think he might be. Yeah, there we go. That's what I know. A guy with a Quinlan Red Star jersey, and it looks good. It's a good jersey.
Man,
this has been a really good Oilers preview, by the way. All over the map.